Okay, we'd like to welcome Patrick Cantlay into the interview room, making his debut appearance here at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Just played the back nine, and you saw the front earlier this week. If we can get some comments on the Detroit Golf Club, Patrick.
Yeah, it seems like an old school country club. Donald Ross back to front greens. Seems like scoring should be pretty good this week, as long as it doesn't get crazy firm, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, it should be a good, fair test.
Most recently finished tied for 8th at the Open Championship, 5 straight top 15 finishes. Just comment a little bit about the state of your game coming into the week.
Yeah, I feel like I've been playing pretty consistent, good golf, and I've just been trying to do the same preparation, work on the same things the last couple months, and hopefully it starts paying dividends soon.
Yeah, currently number 6 in the FedEx Cup standings, looking to become the first player to win the FedEx Cup back-to-back. What would that mean to you? And just talk a little bit about the closing stretch.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. That's obviously the goal now that the majors are done with for the year. And that's the biggest prize left on the schedule. And it'd be great, obviously, to defend that title.
Okay, we'll open it up to questions. If you'll raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you. Okay, we'll start with Cameron, and then we'll go to Larry.
Patrick, couple questions, very unrelated. First, let's talk about last year. You were, having won the BMW, in the spotlight for probably over a week, where you were answering all the questions up there, and you were sort of the man. Bobby Jones talked about losing weight during a week of competition. Whoop collects a bunch of data on what it does to guys' heart rates and whatnot. I was just wondering what it did to you to be so front and center and last group, the chased and competing at that level for that long of a time. What did that do to you physically and sort of emotionally and psychologically?
Yeah, and those 2 weeks were really warm as well. And I think weeks that are hot, definitely guys lose weight and feel more taxed at the end of the week. I think it's a common theme when you talk to guys when they win tournaments or they're in contention. They feel like the week took more out of them than if they were to finish, just in the top 10. And I'm no different. There's a different energy and focus that seems to kick in when the adrenaline gets to a certain level, and that's usually back nine, on Sunday golf when you're up near the lead or in the lead. And it's exactly why I practice and why I do what I do, because it's the most fun part of playing golf.
Do you have to eat more or drink more, or how do you accommodate for that?
Definitely trying to hydrate on a hot week, or any week really, after the rounds and during the rounds. For the most part, it's hard for me to eat enough on the golf course, so I always kind of have a little voice in my head that's trying to make sure I'm eating as much as I can. But yeah, I would say, a tournament like Caves Valley, where it's one of the hardest walks of the year, it's 95, 98 degrees, and you're in contention, and there's a 6-hole playoff. Yeah, I probably lost some weight that week.
And then on an unrelated note, your little brother made some news this week at the U.S. Junior. I think he shot 28. How much are you in contact with him, and how would you sort of describe the difference in your game versus his game?
Yeah, he was at the British Open, so I saw him there, and we traded some texts last night after he finished up. I think he's the 4 seed, maybe right around there, going into match play, and so we traded some texts on match play. But he's been working really hard on his game for a while now, and it's really nice to see all the improvement that he's had in his game. I know we played a number of years ago, and we talked about really getting sharp around the greens, and he's improved that a lot. I think he maybe even chipped in for eagle on his last hole of that 28 front nine, but it was his back nine of the day. And one of the things I really liked about it is I think he was 4 over par through 8 holes in the biggest tournament he's ever played. And then instead of panicking or losing it, he went out and I think played his last 10 holes in 9 under. So that's that's great for someone who hasn't played a USGA championship before, and being on the biggest stage and being able to do that after that kind of start, I thought that showed a lot of character.
Okay, let's go to Larry right here, second row.
Can you just talk about your motivation to be here in terms of the schedule, and the field appears to be pretty strong for this tournament.
Yeah, it's right in the busy part of the year, and so I'll take some time off after the Tour Championship. But up until the Tour Championship, it's all golf, and I think it'll be maybe six out of 8 weeks for me, which is a lot for me. But it's 90 degrees and humid at home in Florida, so it's a time of the year where you just play a lot of golf, and I'm excited to be here this week.
Okay, let's go to George in the back and then up to Adam.
Hey, Patrick. Just going to have a question, and if you'd allow a follow. This point last season, you had 2 wins, 5 top 10s. This season, you have a win, but 9 top 10s. So how would you compare the two to this point?
Yeah, obviously different. Last year was the longer season, so I'm sure there were even more events. So it showed that, I've had a lot, in a weird way, I've had a lot more opportunities this year to win, which is both encouraging and disappointing. I would have liked to have closed out more of those tournaments, but that's how golf is. I was able to close out nearly all of them a year ago last summer, and you're not going to close out every single one unless you're Tiger maybe. And so I think my game's in a really good spot. And like I said in some press earlier in the year, I've been trying to double down on the process that got me to where I am, not change a whole lot, and just look for small incremental improvements. And I think the consistent play that I've had this year is a testament to that.
Quick follow, and you've said you wanted to close out more tournaments given you had 2 playoff losses. When looking at the totality of someone's season, are wins at all an overrated metric?
I think it's interesting. I mean, yes and no. I think media-wise, you could have, I say this all the time, it's funny, but last year I was having a very average season until Memorial, or a very poor season for me, and I won Memorial and then won BMW and the Tour Championship, and all of a sudden it was the best year I've ever had, and I won Player of the Year, PGA Tour Player of the Year. So golf is very interesting in that a week or 2 weeks could change the whole trajectory of your whole year. And so never losing sight of the fact that you're only 2 wins in a row away from being the hottest player on the planet. That's a funny thing in our game. So I think maybe wins are a little overweighted as far as how good a golf are you playing on a week-to-week basis. But that's the name of the game in our sport. It's how many wins and what tournaments did you win.
Okay, let's go to Adam.
Patrick, has your brother ever beaten you?
Probably not.
Okay. How big of a motivating factor is money in what tournaments you play and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think anytime anyone's playing their profession, money's a big contributing motivator.
Your name keeps being bandied about with the live golf. Does that bother you at all?
Not really. I don't take too much stock in outside noise.
Do you want to, discredit any of these rumors that you might be leaving?
What rumors are you hearing? And
rumors that you're planning to leave, like after the FedEx Cup.
Right. I don't have any plans at the moment to leave after the FedEx Cup.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Patrick, as always, we appreciate your time.
Thank you
very
sir.
much.
Thanks.